Come fly with me from Bali Denpasar to Singapore in KLM's business class. After 2 weeks relaxing in Bali, I'm hopping across to Singapore. The journey starts at Bali's Denpasar airport, and after arriving a little early for check-in, I was able to make use of a new lounge within the airport prior to checking in. This is a great place to sit and wait if, like me, you're too early for check-in. It was $10 Australian to access and included some light snacks and drinks as well as a comfy place to sit. Once I checked in and cleared security, it was time to head to the lounge. At Denpasar Airport, KLM utilised the Garuda Lounge, which is probably the most spacious lounge at DPS with the best aircon and most ample offering of food and drink. Flying out at 9 PM, the lounge was pretty hectic. Now, when I booked this trip, I had initially booked to travel on KLM's new Boeing 777 business class suites. But in what I understand is classic KLM style, there was an aircraft change with no notification at all. We instead find ourselves on the older 777 configuration of 222, meaning not all seats have direct aisle access. Not a big deal in the scheme of things for a 2.5-hour flight, but I was really looking forward to experiencing the new business class product from KLM. After initially being booked in 9D and G, we settle into our new seat assignment of 6K and H, being the quieter business cabin. On board, a welcome drink of champagne is served in real fancy glassware, which is a nice touch. Many of the friendly crew come by and introduce themselves. They are incredibly personable and welcoming as they hand out the dinner menus. The entertainment system is not super expansive, but does have some great options of both movies and TV shows. With that, we're pushing back and taking off. Up in the air, the dinner service commenced. I started with a glass of Chardonnay, followed by the winter squash salad, and then the ravioli for main. It was pretty ordinary. Dessert, however, the banana buttermilk cake was lovely. P.S. The silverware on KLM is real fancy. The crew then came around and handed out these gorgeous Dutch house chocolates. Now, the seat does configure to a fully flat bed, which is complete overkill for this 2.5-hour flight, but travelling a longer distance, say KLM's route of Bali, Singapore, Amsterdam, I think the wear and tear, the sagging and the configuration of these seats would start to become annoying. I know, still more comfortable than in economy, but this older configuration and having potentially to step over the other passenger for aisle access is a really outdated business class layout in 2024. Prior to landing, the crew came around and offered a take-home gift, a bottle of gin inside a famous Dutch house. Now, KLM offer these miniature houses to all business class passengers at the end of every international flight. Each one depicts a real Dutch building and has been handed out on KLM flights since the 1950s, a real collector's item. Such a lovely touch and an incredible memento to take with you. After I'm done admiring my little Dutch house, it was time to land into Singapore.